Good morning, everybody. It's December 29th. I hope you guys had an awesome holiday season. I am here just picking up a fuel tank in Swift Current at my local co-op, and they got to lift it up there. It's a 25,000 liter tank, and we're gonna back under it. We got, I don't know how much rain we got here in Swift, but we got quite a bit. So it's very slippery. The streets are slippery. Like, I mean, like, it felt like we got like a, I don't know, felt like we got like a quarter inch, but I'm not sure. I don't know if anybody had their rain gauge out here in December. Okay, I gotta get back under this trailer. Or trailer. I got back the trailer underneath the tank. I can get this. You know what, you guys, I better not record this. It's telling me to keep backing up here. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. Probably not. Right there. Looks great. All right. We're gonna both lower down together. I believe the tank weighs around, it's a double wall tank. I believe it weighs around 9,000 pounds, so not very heavy. Not compared to what my trailer can take. It looks bigger than how it weighs. Don't worry, they'll take those blocks out of there yet. So I'm going to be using this one up at the North Farm because we have some big stainless steel tanks back at the South Farm that we fill. We'll talk more about that here after we get it done, loaded. Okay. Run over to the other side. This holy smoke. So this is what our streets look like. You can literally skate on them. Pure ice. About that thick. Grab that last block. And we'll set her down.
I don't know if you want this block or not.
Sure, I'll take a free block. You never know when you might need one. And then we'll push it straight. Better pick up on my air here. I have no problem taking it up to 90 pounds, but normally I don't go past that with fear of rupturing an airbag. Takes a little while. There we go. Trying to push it straight here. And just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, it's proving to be a little sticky. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, right there. Okay. Darn near center. We're actually not quite, we're just a little bit off to this side, but that's good enough. That's good enough. All right, big thanks to Kevin for helping us get loaded up. Now we're gonna chain down and we're gonna hit the road. All right, so we got ourselves some fancy shiny new 3/8 70 grade chain, 4 different lengths, and some nice shiny new ratchet boom. I really hate ratchet boomers. They're all fine and dandy when they're brand spanking new and nicely lubed up. Once these things get beat up with gravel and salt and sand and weathered and some rust in there, they're not awesome. But I like that you can ratchet everything nice and tight and you don't have to have that over centering style. But I guess they both have the pros and cons. Over centering style, way quicker, way quicker. You just lock it on, grab a pipe, bang, down it goes. These you gotta ratchet them wide open, okay, and then you ratchet them back, and it's a pain in the butt. But once you're fully secured, I like these better. But they sure are a pain in the butt. All right, I gotta continue to chain down here. Once you get them all ratcheted out, it takes 2 hands, one to hold here, one to ratchet. And then normally what I always like to do, and I don't think we've done it quite yet, is you go too far and then this just threads right out and pops out and you're trying to put this one back in and put this one back in, ratchet it up a little bit more. Oh man, all right, so we got them all on. Now we're just gonna tighten them up. And they're literally just as they are, just ratchet. I really don't need to reef on them too much because they get things really tight. Do with this, might grab some tape, zip tie that up or something. Same with this side. Boy, it's slippery. I've already biffed it once, you guys. Okay, I've already done the other 2 on the other side. So 1, 2. Three, 4. We're tight. Now, I'm not a big fan of these, I guess it depends on what you want to call these hooks. Some people call them slip hooks. These are typically your weakest point. You'll normally break this hook before you ever break the chain or ever think about breaking that other hook. So, but I did put them on because they are super handy to tie down some equipment and stuff. Again, you could get these things over tight with those ratchets and you could probably snap that hook. Now, we're not tying down the freaking space shuttle here, so again, there's not a lot of weight to this thing. It's more bulky and awkward than weight. We might tape up this chain. So with the ratchets, there's really no, like, they're not going anywhere. If you have a flip over style, you need a tarp strap them or something, because then they can technically, they could pop open, right? Those aren't coming unratched. All right. We're gonna make sure everything else is secured. This is all zip tied. We don't want our hose to pop out of here. So I know this is a blue handle, and blue typically always means deaf. But if you trace the hose back, it's in a T with the big one. So all it is that's a diesel one. This is just for like your pickup truck. This is for your heavier equipment. Do not ask me why they put a blue handle on a diesel tank, because when I see this, I'm like, oh man, this this big diesel tank has a small def compartment. Like, I need that, like another hole in the head. But it's not. It's full, the whole tank, all diesel, but they put a def nozzle on it. Get that. Now I'm gonna take this off, put a green one on here, or yellow or whatever I might happen to have, anything other than blue. Okay? All right, otherwise everything looks fairly secure. Don't know what that is. Not sure how tall I am. Technically, you might want to measure that, but I'm a risker for the biscuit kind of guy. There's just maybe one overpass I'll go around that I know is super low, but otherwise, I should be fine. Nothing's gonna fall off back here. Yes, I know my bucket and stuff. I'll clean up all that. This is where you fill the tank. See if we can't get up here. Oh, we're just gonna make sure everything's secure up here. What's this? Just ice. Oh, there's a little gauge right there. Very interesting. This here is our dipping stick. I'm assuming this must be liters. I don't know. Okay, everything looks fine. I'm gonna clean up and then we're gonna hit the road. What I should have done, I should have just looped this thing through and hooked it right here. Yep, just like this, and you don't have to rely on that hook. Shoot, I just got them all nicely tightened down, but I think I'm gonna do it right, and I'll loose them back off and do this. Okay, maybe we won't. Now I remember why I didn't want to do that, because I'm gonna bend this. There's a little spring in here. I'm gonna bend that contraption when I start sucking this thing up. So we're not gonna do that, because I just bought these hooks and I really do like when these things are working, not all bent up. That's how you're supposed to do it though, just FYI. I know what we're gonna do, guys. You know, it's still morning, okay? So give me a break. We're gonna shorten this up a little bit, and then we're gonna hook the boomer on this side. And I'm just gonna hold on here. Hold on. Maybe I need another hand here. There, come on, there it is, like that. Hook the boomer on this side, and then we'll just, you know, hook that there or whatever. That's what we're gonna do. Let's just burn off another 35 minutes, shall we? All right, we finally got all 4 done. So I just left this little hook right in here. He's fine. Looped it through. Now we're chain on chain. Chain, we're good. That's the proper way to do it. I guess if we're gonna be all proper, probably still forgetting something, screwing something up. But anyway, Mike, do you worry about your ratchet boomer loosening off, and then obviously your chains to go loose? No, these things do not loosen off. I've never had one of these things loosen off. If it loosened off, it wasn't nearly tight enough. Normally when you actually want to reverse them, it actually takes a pretty good shove to actually break them loose and start reversing. So that's not a thing. And we are set and we are good to go. We will check our chains and boomers once we get going down the road a little ways. We could play a tune off these chains. We already know everything is secure. We're fueled up. Let's hit the road. Great, I completely forgot to talk about the tank. So this is a 25,000 liter tank. Comes with a pump, bulk hose, small hose, filter, and meter. Also, it's on a skid. So this is going to go to the North Farm. This is not going to supply my fuel needs. I would go through 2 of these. I go through about 50 to 60,000 liters a year. Now, your fuel consumption, like any farmer, is going to depend on whether you're hauling in your own fertilizer. Obviously, are you hauling out your grain? Are you getting it custom done? How much fall work are you doing? You know, are you consolidating any sloughs? Are you pro-tilling? What are you doing? All of those things are going to determine how much fuel you burn. I burn around 50, 60,000. South Farm would probably burn 20 times that. Just a larger farm. So back home we have big, I've shown you big stainless steel tanks. And then we just get Super Bs brought right from the refinery and dropped right in the tank. You can only get a Super B direct load, and there is savings to that, like, I don't know, like 2 to 8 cents a liter, if they can just bring it right out of the refinery right to your farm. This will not hold one. I would need probably, well, twice the size. And there is bigger tanks. You can get bigger tanks, but these double wall tanks are stinking expensive. This is probably like a $55,000 tank. You can get big stand-up stainless steel tanks, single wall. You do not have to have double wall here in Saskatchewan. You can get one probably 60,000 liters, maybe 100,000 liters for probably the same price, right? And then you're like, well, Mike, what the heck? Why wouldn't you get a big stand-up tank? If you're already spending 50, you could probably get 100,000 liters. Drop just about 2 Super Bs in there. Well, that's all well and good, and that's probably would be on my to-do bucket list future plan, you know, to get Super B direct loads. But as you know, my farm up north is not set up yet. We do not have a yard where we can just stand tanks up. I would like to put a pad, you know, and get a, you know, maybe put a barrier secure system and stuff around. We are not ready for that. So we're gonna settle for this. It's on a skids. I can drag this thing around wherever I kind of want it to. And right now the price of fuel is kind of slumping a little bit. And I'm thinking about maybe pre-buying some fuel for next year, summer fuel obviously. And there is time crunch lines. Right now it rained. It was +4 like a few days ago and pouring friggin' rain. It's like a skating rink. It's almost an inch thick everywhere, right? So it's not very cold out, which means that they can move summer fuel. Once it gets down to -15, -20, -25, -30, -45, -50, -150, you're not moving any summer fuel around. I think -10, -13 is kind of much their threshold because there's too much wax in it. At least that's what I'm told, and it will actually plug the filters and the pumps and stuff out of the fuel trucks trying to get it into your tank. Where winter fuel, which is what we're burning right now, is all conditioned, and I do believe they take like the wax out of it. I could be wrong, I'm no fuel expert, but that's kind of what they tell me, and because that's what gels up, is the summer fuel and the wax, it gels it all up. So they can only move summer fuel when it warms up in the winter, okay? And right now we're in a bit of a warm spell, so I'm in a bit of a time crunch. I want to get this tank and maybe put some fuel in it. Well, Mike, aren't you worried about people stealing your fuel? Absolutely. That's why I'm putting up a security system like cameras and so on and so forth up there. And I got the neighbor watching as well. And also we're going to put a fuel lock system on this thing, is what we have back home. And that means every person that works with us has their own 4-digit PIN, and everything's logged. We can see, I don't know if we can see the liters that they take out, but we definitely know that they're taking fuel out. We'll get an email or a text or whatever it is. Hey, Mike's taking fuel out at 7:27 a.m. in the morning, and unless you have a PIN number, you ain't getting it. Now, it does have its pros and cons, right? Obviously, if you have trouble with the fuel lock system or the power goes out or whatever it is, you ain't getting fuel. But it is by far a really secure system, and obviously if someone really wants to get fuel, they'll just start cutting and torching and they'll get it. But that's what the cameras are for. Anyways, just like fertilizer, you know, been pre-buying fertilizer. Fertilizer's been in a bit of a slump right now as well. And, you know, is it the right time to buy? Don't know. Is it a gamble? Absolutely. That's what every farmer is trying to figure out right now. Every farmer is trying to figure out, do I buy some fertilizer? You know, is fertilizer going to go down in the spring? Is fertilizer going to go up in the spring? You know, do you hedge? Like, you kind of hedge a little bit, you know, try to hedge your risk, your risk a little bit. That's basically what I want to do with some fuel. It's a bit of a slump. It's down like 20 cents where it was in the fall, so 20 cents, you know, per liter adds up very quickly. I know you guys probably have a few other questions, like, Mike, why don't you just fill it with winter diesel? Like, what's the difference other than like this so-called wax or whatnot? I'm no expert, but I do know that winter fuel, the fuel economy is crap. Like, you would burn way more winter fuel in a tractor, especially when it's working hard. I've heard some people say it's only 5%. I've heard other people say it's 25%. Kind of depends on how hard you're working your equipment. So pre-buy winter fuel for summer is a very bad idea. All right, you might as well just ride it out and pay the difference, because you'll probably still be money ahead. That's kind of it in the nutshell. Now that you guys kind of know that, we've burnt up quite a bit of time here. We need to get up there and get this thing offload. Not sure how we're going to quite do it yet, but I guess that'll probably be for another video. So yeah, all right guys, adios amigos, catch you on the flipper.